in the first part of the question, we have to express 4x we know that 4 is basically 2 square, and you can shift here this power, so it will become 2x whole square, and we know that 2 power x is basically y, so this is y square. Now look at this equation now. Here 4 power x is basically y square, we have just seen, and minus 6 2 power x, it is 6y, because 2 power x is y, and minus 16 equal to 0. Now this equation has converted into standard quadratic equation, but this equation is called coded quadratic. We called it coded quadratic because we have used this as a code. Y is equal to 2 power x, and there are different types of coded quadratic. Here we have used indices, so this is called indices coded quadratic. Okay, and here this 2 power x is called indices, and we also called it exponential function as well. If we write it equal to y, 2 power x equal to y, so this is called exponential function as well, and we also called it indices function as well. So we called it both indices function as well as exponential function, and we will see the properties of this exponential function in the next step of the question. Now as this exponential coded quadratic has converted, this one has converted into standard quadratic equation. So to solve this standard quadratic equation, we have methods, factorization, completing the square, and quadratic formula. So let's try factorization first, because it takes less time. So if you multiply this 16 with this 1, we have a 16. So let's find the factors of 16 so that we add or subtract, so they will give us answer minus 6. So 8 2s are 16. So if you subtract 8 from 2, you will get minus 6. So this pair of factors will work. Therefore, after completing the factorization method, so we have 2 factors here, and from these 2 factors we have 2 solutions in y. Okay. From this first one, y is equal to 8. Let's take this one first. Okay, and we know that y is basically equal to 2 power x. So therefore 2 power x is equal to 8, and we know that 2 power 3 is equal to 2 power 8. Now we have same base, 2 base. So comparing these two, so the solution is x is equal to 3. So we have the first solution of this indices coded quadratic, x is equal to 3. Now take this second one, y is equal to minus 2, and y is 2 power x, which is equal to minus 2. And we know that 2 power x is called exponential function, we have just discussed. So let's check the graphs of exponential function. So there are 4 graphs of exponential function. Let's take only one, this one first, and you can observe this graph is above the x-axis. So if x-axis is negative, look at here, if it is negative, the graph is above x-axis. If x is positive, it is still above the x-axis. So whether x is positive or negative, the graph of the function is always on the upside of the x-axis. And student, you know that the y-axis above the x-axis always have positive values. So it means that the exponential function value will always be positive because it is above the x-axis. So whether x is negative or positive, as the graph is above the x-axis, y is positive, so function will always have positive value. So look at this graph as well. the graph is above the x-axis. Look, this one, it is still above, here it is above. So in all the cases, exponential function will always have positive values. It will never have a negative value. But here you can see that here 2 power x, which is part of the exponential function, it has -2 is equal to -2. That it shows that it has a negative value, and we know that exponential function can never have a negative value. So here in this case, no solution. So therefore this quadratic, indices coded quadratic, has only one solution, and that is x is equal to 3. And this is second question. This is again indices coded quadratic equation. Excuse me, we will use coded quadratic here. So let's see this. Look at here, this one. So you should know the rules of indices. So this can be split like this: 2 power 2x times 2 power 1. This power, which is the power of this base 2, and you know that we add the powers when there's a multiplication sign between the indices. So that's why we use a rule, and we have split this like this. Then -5, 2 power x minus 12 equal to 0. And let's use code. Let y is equal to 2 power x. Okay. See this one. We should use this as a code. Okay. So here, then this will become 2 into 2 power x whole power 2, and -5 into 2 power x minus 12. So whenever you have to use code, you should better to start this middle term. So in the middle term, it is 2 power x. So take code y is equal to 2x. Okay. Now bring this code here. It will become, this is y. So it is y square, 2y square minus 5y minus 12 equal to 0. Now this indices quadratic equation using this code has converted to standard quadratic equation. So let's see which method we should use. Either we can use completing square, quadratic formula, or factorization. So let's try factorization first. If you multiply 12 with this 2, it is 24. Let's check the factors of 24. So 8 3s are 24. So if you subtract 8 from 3, we will get -5, which is over here. So this pair is okay. So using this factor and factorization rules, we have two solutions of this equation. Y is equal to 4 and y is equal to -3. Now using this first one, y is equal to 4. So if y is equal to 4, and we know that we have taken y 2 power x, so 2 power x is equal to 4, and we know that 4 is 2 square, and now the base is same, 2 power x, 2 power. So here comparing these powers, the first solution is x is equal to 2, and now using this second solution, y is equal to -3, and 2 power x is equal to -3. And in the last question, we have noted that we know that exponential function can never have a negative value, so no solution. So therefore this equation has only one solution, and that is x is equal to 2.